All righty. Hi, Poppy. Hello, everybody that has joined us today. Thank you for being here with us. Happy Shamanic Sundays. Love saying that. And just so good to be here with you. And in the spirit of sacred reciprocity, we would always like to start with a prayer. So we're giving thanks before we're asking for more. So Poppy, you want to start us off with a prayer?
Prayer of gratitude. Thank you for this breath, Creator who gives us this breath, Holy Spirit, masculine, feminine images, ideas, whatever we project onto you. You've been always, you be always, you're here, the wisdom, creative wisdom, power of the universe. Thank you for this breath, this gifts of creation and the beautiful Mother Earth and Mother Ocean and all the manifestations of your creation that we get to be with, and gratitude for our ancestors of the land we're living on. For me here in Santa Barbara, the Chumash people, we remember you here. Gratitude for our families, our communities, and gratitude for within families, my two daughters that do the technical work to help make this happen. Prayers for healing in the world, restoration of a healthy way of living with each other and with all of creation. We were capable of creating that, and with your help, Great Spirit, and enough of us working toward it, may it be so. Oh,
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that actually ties in really perfectly with, we got two questions from one of our community members. Speaking of, we love it when you tell us where you're joining us from in the chat there. So go ahead and add in if you feel like sharing, and also if there's anything in particular that's up for you today that you would like to share. We love to hear from you. But the two questions we got over email, we'll start with the first one, and it ties in very closely with what you just shared in your prayer. And that is, what is the role of shamanism in today's world?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'd just like to take the time to drop in and listen and see what comes, because I don't have any prepared answers. So for me,
yeah, this is spontaneous Shamanic Sundays. Never know what's going to happen.
So the question is, what role does or might shamanism have to play in today's world?
Yeah. And I'll add on to that. It's definitely been interesting having, grown up since childhood with this a part of my life through your work. And just watching the shift. It used to be such a kind of hush hush, quiet, I want to say almost like, you just didn't talk about it that much. And now it's become so much more, there's just so much more awareness about it, in general. So there's definitely the power of it is coming through, I feel like.
Yeah, I think the reason for that is because shamanism is a set of practices to help open that doorway of awareness from a constricted state based on ego identity to accessing what's on the other side of, you might say, the membrane of identity of ego, which is the infinite creative universe, the infinite potentially creative universe. And a manifestation of that universe is the natural world, is Mother Earth, Mother Ocean, and all the gifts of creation that we've gotten so alienated from, that we think we're separate from, because we're conditioned into the belief in Western culture of separation, that it's all separate things. We're separate from this, we're separate from that, and that's not true. Modern physics tells us that's not true. This is the ancient wisdom traditions, the indigenous wisdom from which shamanism comes from, paying attention to how things work. In nature, everything's connected. So I think one of the reasons the rise of interest in shamanism is coming in response to that constriction of consciousness, is that it's all about ego consciousness, ego-based perception, identity, and consciousness, and it's all about the rational mind and the logical mind, which are wonderful tools, but they're embedded in a larger field of infinite consciousness, of infinite energy. And so we've been walking around, and our soul's been kind of starving for nourishment that comes from reconnecting with nature, the powers of nature, the energies of nature, and the larger field of consciousness, which is the universe, that can help us access states of wisdom, guidance, and strength, faith, to keep going in dark times and challenging times when it's so easy to give up with despair, depression, or feeling helpless and impotent that we can't make a difference. But shamanism reminds us, and the techniques of shamanism remind us through direct experience. It's not about theory, it's direct experience. With the techniques of shamanism, the practice is to open that doorway so you can experience an expanded state of self and consciousness, of connectedness in which there is no separation. And that itself brings peace and healing, feeling connected to everything and knowing that what you do makes a difference because it goes into the field. So shamanism just is practices, practically applied techniques, you might say, to open that doorway to expanded consciousness and sense of self and reconnection to Mother Earth. And that's where the healing comes from.
Makes me think of, thank you for that. It makes me think of, just how we used to live, right, in so much more balance with our planet and each other, and the wisdom that we often call like indigenous wisdom. You knew that you were living as part of a system, right? So there was the more balance of masculine and feminine energies, of inner and outer, left brain, right brain, human nature. It was like it was all connected. And then, we went through these different revolutions, right? The Stone Age, and fear, and looking big climate shifts and looking for someone to blame for all that stuff. And then the agricultural revolution, where it became about controlling the land, right? And my land versus your land, inner and outer nature. And then the scientific revolution, which then was all about like, we need proof. Nature is wild and we need to control it. And women are wild and we need to control them, the masculine and the feminine, and the witch hunts. And then the Industrial Revolution, which was like, let's break everything down into parts. It's like machine-like, rational, analytical, reductionist. Then the Technological Revolution, which was, it's more like left brain domination, you versus me, parts, polarization, competition. So thinking about these different eras in our history, and the different parts that we've sort of segmented, I wonder if you could, like, just, I don't know, maybe we could, I kind of want to put out to our community who's listening, like, when you think of the parts of us that could be out of balance, like masculine, feminine, inner, outer, left brain, right brain, human nature, maybe we could each just think for a second for ourselves, like what part of us feels out of balance in our lives. So just inviting everybody to think about that for a second. And then, Dad, maybe you could take us through an exercise where we are kind of realigning our ecosystem. We're all part of an ecosystem, right? And so wherever it is that we're feeling, each of us is feeling particularly out of balance right now, maybe you could take us through a guided imagery experience of bringing, that shamanic wisdom of everything being connected and bringing the balance back into alignment for us. Does that sound doable?
Absolutely doable. Yeah.
Okay, great.
We have in the sensitivity of our body the information that's always being relayed to us. Just the simplest thing of standing still or sitting down as you're listening to this sharing of Shamanic Sundays. In our bodies is always the information, usually below the threshold of awareness. But when we take the time to go inside, just bring our awareness inside and see, am I leaning back, out of a line of balance, a straight line? Imagine a straight line from the heavens coming straight down through the top of your head and down through your spine and out all the way through your whole body, down into Mother Earth, just a straight line of energy. And to be in balance is to be aligned with that straight line. And let's say one part of your left part of your body is on one side of the line, the right side of your body is on the other side of the line, and the line goes right down through the middle of you. And so when there's equal, let's see, what would be the word? Equal, well, balance on your left side and your right side, then there's a strength because you're aligned properly. You're not leaning to the side too much, creating extra stress. You're not out of balance to the right or too forward or too backwards. And that backwards and forwards connects with personality and lifestyle. Forward, I'm pushing forward in life. I'm going forward and accomplish, or I'm a little fearful and hesitant, so I'm back a little bit. In either case, out of balance. Out of balance.
Yeah.
And I'm down like this, connected to the earth, but not connected up above, or I'm way up above and my feet aren't grounded, out of balance. So we have the gift of sensitivity in our awareness in our bodies. When we bring awareness to our bodies and imagine that straight line up and down, and that line, as I said, goes down into Mother Earth of energy. It's our roots down in Mother Earth, and up above our head, the part of our being that goes and extends up into the upper world. And we're right in the middle between the upper world and the lower world. Balance. And another way to think about balance in aspects of our lives, the physical part, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the psychological. Think about a chair. I'm sitting on a chair right now, and there's 4 legs on it. And I'm sitting in the middle of the chair, and I'm balanced between forward and backward and the side. So I feel a sense of strength. I feel a sense of solidity. But if you took away one of those legs from the chair, I wouldn't be able to have this sense of security. I'd be having to maintain all my muscles really working to keep myself from tipping over in the area that the chair doesn't have its leg. So in a similar way, looking at balance, if we pay attention to our inner being, am I in balance and have practices to help me stay in balance and open and attentive and healthy with the mental ways, my thoughts, my feelings, and my physical body and nutrition and health, and my spiritual being, 4 legs of the chair. When any of those are underdeveloped or one's overdeveloped at the expense of other aspects of ourselves, we're out of balance. And the information, you just stand up. You can try this exercise whenever you want. Just stand up and just lean a little bit forward. And see the tension you notice by leaning forward. And
my lower back hurts.
Yeah, and then lean a little bit backwards past that point, that center line. And again, more tension, or to the left or the right, more tension. So that tension is awareness in the body saying, come back to center. Come back to center. Make the adjustments you need to make, and whatever it is you're doing, walking, sitting, standing, being, to come back to that center line where you got your feet planted on Mother Earth, you're grounded in Mother Earth, your body is erect, it's open, balanced to either side, all 4 sides, the 4 directions, so you can receive the energy coming in a balanced way from the 4 directions and the powers that are coming in from above that you're connected with, and to be able to walk in balance. Finding that place of balance when you're still, and then as you go to walk, continually paying attention with your awareness as you walk. Oh, did that step take me a little bit over to the right too much? Then let me come back, compensate it, find the middle line again as I walk, as I'm walking. Pay attention as I'm walking, how I'm standing, how I'm sitting. Am I in balance? Am I in balance? Am I in balance? Information is always there about imbalance. When we're out of balance, the information is there, and if we listen to it, within it contains the information about how to come back into balance. So if I'm 5 degrees over to the right, straining, then I need to come back 5 degrees to drop into that center line. So gifts of grace, we have awareness in gifts of grace, a human body of great sensitivity when we take care of it, and we don't clog it up with negative thoughts and bad food and lack of exercise and lack of attunement practices with spirit. The system works. It's like the universe works, created by the great spirit. The universe works, been here for a long time, knows how to create and maintain a universe. and Mother Earth knows how to work and create balance and harmony. And indigenous people who paid attention to how it works saw that wisdom and try to live in harmony and balance with it, in respectful relationship. And when you mentioned earlier, not just taking, but a balance of giving, so that what you need to take for your life, do it consciously and give back. So there's balance. There's not this imbalance between what we take and what we give, because there's imbalance, which we have today. The system feeds back to us through climate change and the disasters, increasing disasters related to climate change. It's the large system feeding back to us. We're out of balance. Pay attention to the information which contained with the symptoms of imbalance, and follow them back to the root, and you'll see what needs to change to come back into balance. Oh.
All right. Opening our eyes. If you had your eyes closed there, thank you for that.
Right.
Yeah. So kind of related to this too, we got another question. And it says, what is the shamanic perspective on forgiveness? Which I think, it's like that kind of goes into like light and darkness, right? And we all have both sides of us, and there's light and dark energies in the world. But yeah, that's the quite. I don't know exactly what the person was going after, but what is the shamanic perspective on forgiveness?
Well, I think it's important to recognize when you use the word shamanism, and it's a generalized a term to practitioners who use shamanic practices and techniques to access that larger state of consciousness, the spirit, and create ally relationships with it, to be able to use the help from power bigger than ego, to do the work that particular shaman or medicine person is called to be doing. So there's not like a dictionary that's applicable around the world that says the shamanic way or understanding forgiveness is this, and that applies to different practitioners. All I can do is speak from my own experience. That ties into the work to wake up, to wise up to the truth of who we are, sacred, worthy, luminous beings. And at the deepest level of our being, we are loved by that creative wisdom power of the universe that creates us and gives us the breath and the gifts of protection that brings us this far, and gives us the guidance to wake up to the truth that the deepest evidence of our being is love, infinite, unconditional love. That's the essence energy of the universe, and that's the essence of our being. And so, what's it for? It's like this Starlight song: "We are stardust brought to earth. We are stardust brought to birth. We are stardust brought to life." And it goes on to ask, do you know why you're here? Filled with light and love so dear. Do you know why you're here? And then it answers the question: to shine. So we are love, and our love is for giving. So when we hold on to judgments about ourselves or another person's being, differentiated behavior, but being, as soon as we judge someone else's being or our own being, our heart constricts and our system gets tight, and we're not able to access the that which is there for us in potential always, to be able to access the infinite creative wisdom energy of the universe to help us address our challenges and our problems, whatever they might be, our difficulties. So to free ourselves up, let go of the judgments of another person's being. Because as soon as I judge that person's being, I'm judging myself. Why? Because on the deepest level, we're not separate, we're connected. And it's some part of myself I'm not in a good relationship with, and so I'm seeing it manifest in this other person, and I'm judging their being, differentiated from their behavior. So if I want to free myself up, polish up my stardust so my pipes are open, to be able to get that vitality, life force energy from the universe, and strength and guidance and light and love, which I want, to polish my being up and strengthen my immune system and my well-being and health, and then I want to be vigilant to not clog my heart up with judging my being or the being of anyone else. So the love is for giving. Give yourself a gift. Let go
Yeah.
of the judgments about a being of another or yourself, because both of us, all of us, sacred, worthy, luminous beings, like the old saying goes, we're all God's children.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So it feels like the themes from the questions today, it feels like the themes for us to keep in mind in the coming week, perhaps, is balance, bringing the different parts of ourselves and our world back into balance, but starting with ourselves, and judgment, letting go of self-judgment, judgment of other people. And yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Well, just to summarize what you're saying, what I learned from Indigenous elders is walk in balance. It's not about trying to be perfect. Just be aware of, you think of a circle, don't, and the whole, wherever you face in the circle, there's information coming in from that portion of the universe. If you close your awareness to any part of that circle, circumference of the circle, you're going to miss out on some information. You need to walk in balance. So stay open to everything that comes your way, and see kind of like what are the waves of information that are coming through that situation? What is it triggering inside of you? And then if you hold an intention that Indigenous elders taught me, walk in balance. Try to walk in balance in your life with the fullness of your own being, with the forces of nature coming from earth, above, below, all the directions. If you hold that as an intention, you pay attention, then the information is always there to walk in balance. And if you want to experience in the moment of being alive, waking up and wising up, to live love now, then the love is for giving, not for constricting with judgments. The love is for giving. So may we all seek to walk in balance, and with the gift of awareness, increase our skillfulness, paying attention to walk in balance with an open heart, empowered by remembering, waking up, that our love is forgiving. We are love, and our love is forgiving. Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
May it be so. Thank you so much for your sharing. Thank you all for being here today, this Sunday morning with us, and may you have a good week ahead. And yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah, and thank you for making this happen. And I know you're leaving tomorrow for a retreat you're doing, a women's retreat. And
I am. Yeah,
super
excited about that.
Have a wonderful time, and thank you for the good medicine. You're already bringing through the wisdom of the feminine and supporting that, which is so important in life.
Yeah. Maybe next week we'll talk a little bit more about the balance of the masculine and feminine. I've got this retreat is just for women. It's a nature-wise women's weekend. So a version of a quest for vision. So I'll give you some updates next week.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all. Much love and gratitude for everybody here. You, Puppy, thanks for guiding us.
Thanks for helping.
Take care, everyone. Bye.